This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, March 10th, 2026. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. War continues in the Middle East as drone attacks continue. Ships begin attempting to run the Strait of Hormuz amid Iranian targeting efforts. U.S. consulate in Toronto targeted in small arms attack. Beginning with international events. In the Middle East, the Planet Satellite Imagery Company has announced an extension of their holding of satellite imagery throughout the Middle East. Planet had previously instituted a 96-hour hold on all imagery of American installations in the region for the operational security reasons of preventing Iranians from using up-to-date satellite imagery in their targeting efforts. As of this morning, Planet has extended this delay to 2 weeks, with all imagery of non-Iranian terrain being withheld for 14 days from all customers. In the Strait of Hormuz, the strait remains semi-officially closed as most commercial vessels refuse to accept the risk of trying to run the gauntlet. Iranian forces continue to strike cargo vessels, but some vessels are making the attempt to transit the strait amid these threats. This morning, one commercial vessel was reportedly struck by a drone or had a near miss, highlighting the risks for commercial shipping. Analysts comment. Interestingly enough, some vessels have pulled a Leroy Jenkins and plowed through the strait over the past few days with their transponders off, hoping for the best. Other vessels have also tried the old standby trick that was discovered during the Houthi targeting campaign in the Red Sea last year. They're changing their AIS transponder data to claim affiliation with China in hopes of being allowed free passage. This has worked for a couple of dozen vessels so far, but the targeting of shipping in the Persian Gulf is still too random to draw a conclusion as to what's actually being targeted by the Iranians. On the Korean peninsula, South Korean officials have voiced concern regarding the relocation of American strategic resources from the region. This morning, the South Korean media group Yonhap published photos of Americans disassembling a THAAD battery, which is being relocated to the Middle East to replace at least one of the sites that was damaged or destroyed by Iranian targeting efforts. In Canada, this morning an active shooter was reported at the U.S. Consulate General in Toronto. Toronto police state that a white Honda CR-V approached the facility, stopping at the main entrance. Two suspects exited the vehicle and fired shots from handguns at the consulate before egressing from the scene. Multiple shell casings were recovered from the shooting site, and the shooters remain at large. Analyst comments for this wire. National security is, of course, a higher priority than providing up-to-date satellite imagery of the Middle East for the civilian world. As unfortunate as it is, censorship is a critical part of warfare, and there's absolutely nothing that can be done about it. However, the timing and nature of the censorship occurring now is quite interesting. As a reminder, the Chinese have provided extremely detailed imagery of American equipment losses since the start of the war via their own satellite networks, so the Iranians don't exactly need American satellites at all. This seemingly unimportant satellite imagery delay can also serve as an indicator for the expected timeline of the war. Requesting American satellite companies to intentionally withhold their imagery from the public for 2 full weeks is not something that is done if the war is coming to a close. Right now, a lot of rhetoric is flying concerning the potential end of the conflict, with analysis of President Trump's remarks on the war focusing on how long the war might last or what might happen over the next few days and weeks. At the moment, we cannot make decisions based on this rhetoric as it changes by the hour and is frequently contradictory. What we can do is look at the facts. American companies are being ordered to withhold satellite imagery from the region for 2 weeks. American positions continue being targeted by Iranian drones, to include another strike at the THAAD battery in Abu Dhabi this morning and a strike at Al Udeid Air Base last night. The United States continues to level and crater most military installations throughout Iran with overwhelming dominance, to include bombing sites which have already been bombed. Dubai and the GCC states at large continue to be targeted daily by Iranian drones, and flights are routinely grounded due to these targeting efforts. All of these data points indicate that this conflict may last for some time. All it takes is a phone call to stop the bombing and bring everybody home, and considering President Trump's style of rapidly changing policies, this could very well happen. But as of right now, the ground truth does not reflect any off-ramps being feasible for a while. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, March 10th, 2026.